The most important trading relationship in the world right now is between the United States and the EU. And you could say it's, in terms of volume, it's the most important in history. If something goes wrong with that trading relationship, the global economy is not going to be stable. It's not going to be able to grow, and in fact, we're going to have probably an economic crisis on our hand. So the first thing we should do is realize that these two partners need to make sure that we remain calm. And
which is difficult.
Which is difficult, yeah, sure, of course. And we need to recognize that there are parties in both Europe and in the United States that believe that they have not benefited from trading relationships. I doubt very much in the United States that there's much opinion that the reason that the United States is having economic problems is because of Europe, right? The focus is on Mexico and on China. Right. And so I don't see that there's going to be a big difference in the trading relationship between the EU and the US. TTIP, it's probably not the best time to talk about TTIP on both sides of the Atlantic. I just don't think people are prepared to, quickly move in the other direction and start talking about freer trade when we've had a U.S. election that's been about the unfairness of trade. So I think pushing it would probably be politically unwise, but abandoning it would be economically unwise. So at some point we have to take that issue up again. We have to move the European economy and the U.S. economy closer to each other. There's so much that both sides benefit from in that relationship. So we need to make sure that that one doesn't fail.
Now let's look at it from a small exporter residing in the Czech Republic kind of a perspective.
Yeah.
Is there something they should do or they could do, or is it at the moment the sort of a wait and see and don't fear too much strategy kind of a thing?
The Czech Republic is admirable, and the amount of products that it exports, and the mid-sized businesses that are growing up now in the economy and exporting. So before it was multinationals coming in and exporting, but you see a growing dynamic of Czech companies that are exporting to the U.S. If I could give one piece of advice to Czech exporters, I would say vote for parties in the election that support the European Union. The Czech Republic is going to do much better in the global economy when it's negotiating as part of the EU than negotiating as a country of 10 million and an economy of 10 million against Russia and China and the United States. I mean, it's just a typical thing, right? I mean, when you are fighting in a field of giants, it's better to be part of a giant than to be the little guy on the field, right? So that would be my one advice to Czech exporters. I think this country has benefited extraordinarily from being a member of the EU, and sometimes it's really disappointing to hear the opinion of people about the EU. They tend to focus on the overregulation, and they forget that it has created a market for their products, which have brought a great amount of prosperity to the country. And it would be a shame if the Czech Republic closed their doors to that market.